You are listening to the New Jersey Business Podcast with your friend, host, all-around good guy, Paul Valverde. Now, on to the show.
What's shaking, New Jersey? Thank you for joining me once again. Today, as special guest, we have Andrea Zeydelis, founder and CEO of Better Together Community, a digital platform dedicated to nonprofits and charitable organizations. Andrea, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Hi there, Paul. Thanks for having me.
It is a pleasure to have you. And Andrea, will you please begin by introducing yourself to our audience?
So a little bit about me. I am a New York transplant. I was born and raised in Staten Island, New York. I moved out to northern New Jersey about 8 years ago, and it was a little bit of a culture shock. I didn't realize how I was moving to the woods. To me, this is the woods. I know this is, I was used to everything moving all the time. And then when I came out here, I could hear the crickets and the frogs and the coyotes. And it was very different for me. So in the beginning, it was a little bit of a culture shock. My children who were young at the time acclimated very quickly. But for me, it took a little bit of time to start making friends and really find out what was going on in my community. So I dove in head first. I wanted to know what the nonprofits were doing. I wanted to know, what's the cool thing to do in northern New Jersey? Morristown came up really quickly, events and fairs and festivals. There is so much to do in New Jersey. And that's what kind of inspired me to create Better Together Community.
New Jersey is the Garden State. So you are going to have a lot of woods out here.
I don't know why I was surprised. I don't know why I was so surprised.
You're in Morris County. I used to live in Sussex County. So for part of our audience, I are located in Sussex County. I used to live in a little tiny town called Stillwater. Now that's the sticks. Now things close very early. There are rarely like anything where if you go grocery shopping, it's like over half an hour away, and if you forgot anything, forget it. You won't get it until next time you go grocery shopping.
I could do that now. I think I've been out here long enough where I'm like, okay, this is fine, this is normal. But it really was like
a transition,
60 to 0
for sure
for me.
And
because
so,
we were young too, like younger, and going out and staying out until like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like when you're young and you do those things, and then everything out here was like, I couldn't even get dinner past like 8:30. So it was hard.
What difference do you see between the nonprofit world in New York and the nonprofit world in New Jersey?
I came from New York City. So New York City, it's highly dense. It's densely populated. It's all kind of concentrated in one area. I lived in Staten Island. Staten Island is like a 13-mile radius. It's 13 miles end to end. And there's 500,000 people just in those 13 miles. Where I live now, it's 13 miles long and there's 17,000 people. Yeah. So, and the needs are different. Yeah. So, when you have these highly densely populated areas, you're going to have those nonprofits. They're going to be working together. They're going to be communicating because they're going to be right next to each other. New Jersey, we don't have that. We're spread out. So just so you know, there's 41,000 registered nonprofits in New Jersey alone, and there's 1.5 million across the United States. There's 10 million worldwide. And they all have their own websites and they all have their own things going on. And we don't have a centralized location or a hub for those nonprofits. So that's what I wanted to create. That's what this idea kind of snowballed in terms of like, I'm here in northern New Jersey. I just want those nonprofits to kind of connect to each other. Had I just left it alone, it would have been like 3,000 nonprofits here in my northern New Jersey area. But I just kept saying, why? Why not bigger? Why not bigger? Why not connect them all? So that's what we're attempting to do with Better Together Community. We're connecting with nonprofits across the world. And it's really exciting to start it. It's really exciting to get a phone call from Israel. It's really exciting to get a phone call from Canada and have them be interested in getting on and networking with us and creating that huge network of nonprofits that are doing the work and that can really create change, and the change that we so desperately need right now. So,
Andrea, if I hear you correctly, I sense that you saw a need, you saw a void that needed to be filled. You saw that there were groups such as nonprofits and charitable organizations that were providing great services for people in need, but they lacked a platform where they could share their events, such as fundraising and also events to service the community.
right.
And you figure a way to provide value to them by providing this service. So I think it's pretty cool that you really narrowed down your niche in terms of the people that you serve, right? Can you walk me through what it was like, just the thought process you went through, how it was that you launched it? Was it something that you had in mind before you moved into New Jersey? Was it something that came about while you were in New Jersey? Was it a conversation? Was it what really sparked that interest in you um, to begin a Better Together community?
I think we all have that, or not all of us, but that we have that entrepreneurial spirit, right? Find a problem, try to solve that problem. That's your business, that's your passion, and you're just trying to fill that gap. Exactly. There was a couple of different aha moments. My background is in nonprofits and public administration. I was a grant manager for a little while. I was a nonprofit consultant. I still am. I speak to a lot of different nonprofits, just advising them on how to move forward in the best way. A lot of it just came from, half of it, I have to be truly honest, half of it came from because I was a young mom out here in New Jersey. I had no family, no friends. I was looking for things for my children to do. And I said, why do I have to look at 50 million websites to find the event in my community? Mm-hmm. Why is this so hard for no reason? Why isn't there a centralized location for nonprofits, for charitable events? When I take my children somewhere, I don't want them to learn a lesson, but I want them to at least feel like they're part of a community, that they're doing something good for the community. So part of it came from that, where I was just like kind of a young mom going, how can I help? And how can I show my children that this is the way, like this is the way that we want to be in our communities. And then another part of it was my grant manager position, where we were constantly looking for opportunities for our nonprofit to be in the community. And I said, why isn't there a central location? We were looking at county level, federal level, like every level of government. And you're just researching and researching and researching. Why isn't there a central location where I can just go and input, when is there going to be a street fair? Can I be a vendor at that street fair? Can I be a sponsor at that street fair? Nonprofits do a lot of work. And the last thing that they want to do is sit there and research and try to find the opportunities for them to just be in their community. And then when I moved to New Jersey, like I said, culture shock a little bit. There's 565 municipalities in New Jersey, and there isn't a centralized way to find out what is going on in each one of them. So for me, it was just this piecemeal kind of, there was little bits of euphoric, oh, this is a great idea. This is a great idea. Why doesn't it exist? And I'll tell you, Paul, I was waiting for someone else to create it. I was in the beginning. I was like, someone else will create it. This is a great idea. Someone will do it. And nobody was doing it. I had spoken to a lot of people and they said, that's a great idea. I tried something like that. I just kind of gave up. And I was like, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it in the end. When you have everybody in one place, when you're able to, really help the community and show them that this is what's going on right here in your backyard. You can support all these different causes right in your own backyard. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be hard. That's it. It doesn't have to be this hard. So that's really where, it kind of came from. A couple of different moments of just aha, and a couple of different moments of it's on you too. Like, yeah. I have the idea. I was like, why are you waiting for somebody else to do it? This is for you. So,
Andrea, I think it's great because nonprofits are trying to connect with the people they like to serve, and also with donors, right? And volunteers. And I've met a ton of people who want to volunteer their time, and they go through what you're saying. I mean, they have to look up this one nonprofit here and look up this other nonprofit and look up this other nonprofit and see what they may have going on. But if they could go to one place and see what events are happening and say, oh, you know what, I like to reach out to them and see if I can help out at that particular event.
And
Perhaps a
sometimes
donor. Go
I
ahead.
want to say just like, and sometimes it's as easy as just going to an event, because nonprofits are always looking for, they're fundraising. This is a
Yes.
fundraiser. You might drive down a street and there's a street festival. That street festival is a fundraiser, whether or not you realize it. That is helping some charity somewhere. Either it's the Rotary or it's a Kiwanis group. All of those organizations are looking for funds. They're creating, this opportunity for you to just have fun and support them.
Yes, that's right.
So you can say, oh, I want to volunteer, or I want to be on a board, or sometimes we just need you to go to an event and spend some money. And who doesn't want to do that? Like, the easiest thing for you to do, or the easiest way for you to support your community, is just to attend one of these events. Donate your time. Sure, absolutely, 100%. Donate just funds, 100%. Please do that too. But this is why part of it was like, I want to go to a gala, like on a Friday night. And again, going back to moving out here and trying to make friends and meet new people, what better way to have a night out than to go to a charitable event? I can spend $150 to go out to dinner with my spouse, or I can go to a gala and get completely dressed up and wear a dress that's been sitting in my closet for forever. And just, especially now, I think coming out of the pandemic, people are looking for reasons to leave their house and to get back out there. So.
Yes. And also I think it's a way of meeting people that, and to a certain extent, share certain core values, right? Not everyone has the value of giving or helping out. But going to events such as this, you would meet people that have that in common with you, which actually makes it pretty cool. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
on the website, you can actually filter through cause and through event type. So if you're just looking for street fairs, you're going to find just street fairs. If you're looking for street fairs that support animals, you're going to find street fairs that support animals. I created it that way because, again, like you said, not everybody has the same wants and needs and ways that they want to support, or even issues that they want to support.
Yeah.
But if I, am passionate about animals or human rights or LGBTQ, whatever issue I want to support, I'm able to filter it within the website and find that event right there, in real time. So, and this is nationwide. And I did that specifically because when I go somewhere, when I go on vacation or I go to another state, I want to know what's going on locally so that I can participate in those things locally. I don't like feeling like a tourist. I don't know. I like to go somewhere and feel like I'm supporting the community. We're coming out of this pandemic. We're still in this pandemic where we're trying to see more sustainability, more understanding and compassion towards, helping the local community. So I wanted to keep that going. I think, coming out of this is the perfect time for me to kind of roll out and launch and showcase that when we work together, the community benefits.
For sure.
As a whole. Yeah.
Folks, for those of you who are listening, who are involved with a charitable organization or a nonprofit in any capacity, make sure you tell them about Better Together Community. Make sure you have them reach out to make their events known to the public. So Andrea, will you please tell our audience what's the best way to get in touch with you in order to promote their events through your platform?
Sure. We are on every major social media platform. The easiest way to reach me is my first name, Andrea, Andrea, at bettertogethercommunity.org. And you can go to bettertogethercommunity.org and fill out all the information there. You can create an account. Posting your event is free right now. So we're just rolling out and making sure that we're covering all of our states. I want to get an event in every single state across the US. There's so much really fun, unique stuff that's going on, and we want to be a part of it, and we want to help promote those really fun events.
Andrea, I want to talk a little bit more about what is it like to run your business. You've mentioned your children, so you're a mom and you're an entrepreneur. Uh, and most people don't know what happens behind the scenes, right?
Sure.
So they might see you on social media, they might see your website, and everything looks great, and they don't know what it's like to make all that happen. Can you give us a glimpse of what is that like for you in order to make sure those things are happening and to stay in touch and to stay in tune with what's going on?
Sure. The great thing about creating Better Together community is that I am passionate about nonprofits, and I wouldn't do this if I wasn't. Like if I wouldn't do anything if I'm not passionate about it. So for me, waking up in the morning and knowing that I have to reach out to nonprofits or create the marketing or do the post social media stuff or on the legal end creating some of the different practices and policies that we have to do. I have lived my life in a very tangential way. I think I went to school for public administration. I went to school for psychology. I like to learn as much as I can about the topic that I'm working on. So nonprofits, I've learned a lot about nonprofits over the past 15 years of my career. I've worked for a number of them. I've consulted with a number of them. So having that background, understanding where they come from as a nonprofit leader has really kind of helped me be diplomatic and pragmatic in having the conversations with the nonprofit leaders that I reach out to. And then the ones that reach out to me as well. I am really lucky. I want to say that everyone that I speak to is excited about this product. I don't get a lot of for me, there is no negative feedback. It's about that constructive criticism in terms of like, this can be better. Yes. Tell me, how can it be better? Let's do it. If it's going to be an ease of access or it's going to, work better this way. Yes, absolutely. Let's change that. Let's figure it out. You have to enjoy it. You have to be happy, doing the work that you do. Is it stressful being a sole proprietor? Yeah, I do have a team. I do have a CTO. I do work with marketing and strategists, but for the most part, it's me. And I'm comfortable with that for now. I'm going to need help for real soon. I'm going to need more help soon. But right now, I'm in a comfortable place. I have to say that again, I feel lucky and privileged to absolutely love what I'm doing and to be able to kind of create this momentum of sustainability and help the nonprofit world.
Yeah.
Because it needs help. Again, I've been in their shoes. I spoke with someone yesterday who was an intern, and she was trying to figure out so that she could report back to her, her CEO, her executive director. And I told her, I was like, I've been in your shoes. I've been you. And I know that it's hard sometimes to convince people up the ladder, like this is a good idea. But this is what you're going to say, and coach her through it. But I know what I have here. I know that that we're kind of on the precipice of something really great. And I'm really excited to kind of share that with Northern New Jersey, especially because it is my hometown, it's my home base, but with everyone, with the world. So,
yeah. It excites me to see you so excited about the services you provide and the people that you serve. I think that's pretty awesome. It's hard sometimes. Entrepreneurs find themselves starting a business and they think it's going to do great, and they think in more profits. So they are looking more to be profitable, and they forget about being happy. And so I love the fact that your business is thriving and you're happy, like you're having fun doing it. It's very inspiring. That is very good. Andrea, I would like to ask you, which area of your business, not necessarily service, meaning like the things that you do as part of your business, do you feel that you excel? Do you feel that you do very well?
For me, I feel like I said, I see the whole picture. I have a little bit of a different perspective from my cultural upbringing and I have a constant inclination to ask why. I'm just constantly asking why. So I feel like I'm okay with, I don't want to say rejection, but I'm okay with rejection and criticism. And I feel like I'm able to be pragmatic and diplomatic when it comes to my product, when it comes to my organization. I'm malleable in the sense of things are going to change on a day-to-day basis, and you have to be able to roll with that. This website came out of just wanting to be more efficient and to do things better. And I think because of my flexibility, I'm able to do that. I feel like I am flexible and understand that things change and you have to kind of roll with it. And that's kind of part of who I am, just like trying to roll with it and understand this industry a little bit, understand tech a little bit better, and but also incorporate that nonprofit world. And then but I want to say too, like I have a master's in public administration with a concentration in nonprofit and public performance measurement. Okay. So I literally went to school to get better at performance. How do we get better? And my business is literally called Better Together. I'm very literal with my things. But nonprofit and public performance measurement is my niche. This is where I excel. This is what I went to school for. I want to make all nonprofits better in that big picture. It's a one at a time type deal, but we're going to do this incrementally. We're going to go across the board and try to improve everybody, bring everybody up. Because when we do that, all we're doing is we're bringing everybody up. This is a community issue. This is a nonprofit issue, but who do the nonprofits help? Nonprofits help the underserved. So again, it is about lifting and helping people succeed. So, yeah.
And I appreciate you brought up your flexibility, adaptability, because in order to be successful in business, you have to have a vision, but you have to be flexible. So you have to adapt. As you're moving towards that vision, you're going to realize things that you didn't know before, and you need to adapt to that. You're gonna visualize things like this is gonna be perfect, and then you're gonna realize, well, it's not perfect. I need to improve it. I need to change it. You know what? I was going right, but I think I'm better off going left. The overall goal does not change, but just the path that you take in order to reach that goal may change, and it is much easier, much quicker if you're willing to be adaptable and willing to be flexible. Right?
Well, that's what it is. It's a path, right? It's a journey. It's not just a destination. It's a continuation. We get better every single day. We change every single day. We grow. We evolve over time. So, in my own personal life, in my business, I see that, and I want to make sure that I acknowledge that and I bring that with me, and then I try to inspire other people around me to make sure that they see that as well, so that we can kind of all work together, better together, right?
Andrea, our time is coming to a close. I want to thank you very much for joining me in today's episode and for sharing all this helpful information to our audience. I know that pretty much everyone has some sort of connection with a nonprofit charitable organization. So I'm asking all of you guys to please spread the word. Tell them about Better Together community, because it's going to help them tremendously and get more attendance to their events, which is going to be huge for them. It's going to have a huge return for them. Andrea, is there anything else you would like to add that you would like our audience to know and definitely walk away with and to have them in the forefront of their minds?
Yeah, my advice or my ending words are going to just be start. Lean into it, roll with it, put one foot in front of the other, and just and go. Time is going to pass regardless. So rather it pass with you doing something that you're passionate about. So if you're thinking about starting a business, start writing it down. Write it down and start, let it roll. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. There you have it, folks. Andrea from Better Together Community. Have a good one, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the show, go to NewJerseyBusinessPodcast.com. That's NewJerseyBusinessPodcast.com. We can't wait to hear from you and your business. You can also visit our website to learn about sponsorship opportunities and how to qualify for a complimentary gift. Thanks again for listening to the New Jersey Business Podcast.